Imagine discovering a planet so massive, yet so close to its star, that it completely challenges everything we thought we knew about the universe. What if this planet could support life, but in ways we never expected? Sounds like science fiction, right? But it's real. Astronomers have found a super-Earth that defies logic, and it's closer than you think. What would it mean for the search for life beyond Earth? Could we be looking at a world with the potential for life? Stick around and let's dive into this mind-bending discovery that's got scientists rethinking everything. What is a super-Earth? Super-Earths are a fascinating class of exoplanets that have been at the forefront of astronomical studies in recent years. But what exactly makes them so unique? Let's break it down. Super-Earths are planets that are larger than Earth, but smaller than the gas giants like Uranus or Neptune. These planets are not necessarily made of the same materials as Earth, but they do share some similarities that make them intriguing. These planets are primarily rocky, much like our own Earth, and typically sit within the habitable zone of their stars, meaning that the temperature on these planets could be just right for liquid water to exist. And we all know water is one of the key ingredients for life. Imagine a world that's just a bit bigger than Earth, with the possibility of oceans, lakes, and maybe even life. Sounds like science fiction, right? But this is a very real phenomenon astronomers are uncovering in our galaxy. Super-Earths are typically located in the so-called Goldilocks zone, where conditions are neither too hot nor too cold. While this term might seem a little whimsical, it's based on the idea that these planets could potentially harbor life in a way that is very similar to Earth. They are a bit more massive than Earth, which can influence everything from gravity to the planet's atmosphere. The concept of a super-Earth challenges our assumptions about how planets form and what the possibilities for life in the universe really are. So next time someone mentions a super-Earth, just know that we're talking about planets with the potential to be life-bearing, and they're out there, waiting to be discovered. The discovery. Let's jump into the thrilling moment when astronomers made this incredible discovery, TOI-715b, a super-Earth that's capturing everyone's attention. It's not just the fact that it's a super-Earth, it's where and how it was found that's making waves in the scientific community. TOI-715b orbits a red dwarf star about 137 light-years away from Earth, a distance that seems far but is actually relatively close in cosmic terms. But here's the twist. This planet exists in the habitable zone of its star. What does that mean for us? It means that the conditions on TOI-715b could allow liquid water to exist on its surface. Yes, liquid water, one of the critical elements for life. The discovery of TOI-715b was made possible by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, which is specifically designed to look for exoplanets that could potentially support life. Scientists are particularly excited about this discovery because TOI-715b is located at a sweet spot, not too close to its star to be scorched, but not too far to be frozen. This makes it a prime candidate for studying planetary atmospheres and understanding what it takes to support life beyond Earth. What's even more intriguing is that TOI-715b is about 1.5 times the size of Earth, putting it in that sweet middle ground that makes it an exciting prospect for further study. So, why does this matter? Well, TOI-715b represents a type of planet that could hold the key to understanding how planets with similar characteristics evolve and whether they could one day support life forms. Scientists are now looking forward to studying this planet in even greater detail. Could this super-Earth be one of the next steps in the search for life beyond our solar system? The discovery of TOI-715b has opened up a whole new chapter in the exploration of exoplanets and what lies beyond our own home planet. The anomaly. Now here's where things get really interesting. TOI-715b doesn't quite fit the mold of what scientists expected. You see, red dwarf stars are the most common type of star in our galaxy. They are much smaller and cooler than our sun, so any planets orbiting these stars should, in theory, be much smaller too. In fact, most of the planets discovered around red dwarfs are either rocky and small, or gas giants. But TOI-715b is something else entirely. It's a massive super-Earth about 1.5 times the size of our planet, orbiting a red dwarf star. And here's the kicker. According to current models of planetary formation, such massive planets should not exist around these types of stars. This discovery is throwing all of our previous assumptions into question. How did this giant planet form in a place where it shouldn't be able to exist? The answer isn't clear yet, but that's what makes this discovery so groundbreaking. It could completely change how we understand the formation of planets. Maybe it's not just the size of a star that determines the size of the planets that orbit it, but other unknown factors. Some astronomers suggest that the planet might have formed through a different mechanism, such as the accretion of a vast amount of material that wasn't initially accounted for. Others believe it could have been captured by the red dwarf star after originally forming around another, more massive star. Whatever the reason, TOI-715b's size and its location in the habitable zone has sparked a whirlwind of new theories about how planets, and potentially life, can exist in places we never imagined. In many ways, this discovery is a cosmic curveball, and scientists can't wait to learn more about how it fits into the puzzle of our universe. Implications for life. Now, you might be wondering, what does this all mean for life as we know it? Well, TOI-715b's potential to support life is one of the most exciting aspects of this discovery. The fact that this super-Earth exists in the habitable zone of its star, where temperatures are just right for liquid water to exist, is no small thing. Liquid water is essential for life as we understand it, and the idea that it could exist on another planet opens up the possibility that we are not alone in the universe. But there's more to it than just water. TOI-715b is a rocky planet, which means it has a solid surface that could potentially support life forms. In fact, it's the perfect candidate for future studies that aim to find out whether there could be signs of life beyond Earth. The size of the planet also plays a role in its habitability. Because it's larger than Earth, it might have a thicker atmosphere, which could help protect life from harmful radiation. This could also make the planet more resilient to changes in its environment. Could there be microbes living beneath the surface, or perhaps advanced civilizations on the horizon? While we don't have direct evidence of life on TOI-715b yet, the fact that it sits in its star's habitable zone gives scientists hope. If life can thrive in the most unlikely places right here on Earth, who's to say it couldn't exist on a distant super-Earth? The implications of this discovery are profound. It opens up the possibility of finding life in places we've never considered before, and sparks a renewed interest in the search for extraterrestrial life. So, while TOI-715b might not have aliens waving hello just yet, it's certainly a place worth keeping an eye on as we continue our quest to answer the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? The road ahead. What's next for the search for exoplanets like TOI-715b? Well, this discovery is just the tip of the iceberg. As exciting as it is to find a planet that challenges everything we know, it's also the perfect jumping-off point for further exploration. There's so much more we need to learn, and this discovery opens up an entirely new field of study. First off, astronomers are already working on detailed follow-up observations. They'll be using instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope to peer deeper into TOI-715b's atmosphere, trying to detect the chemical fingerprints of life. This will help us understand the planet's atmospheric composition, whether it has an atmosphere thick enough to trap heat, and if it could sustain conditions similar to Earth. But the search doesn't stop there. Scientists are already hunting for other super-Earths in the habitable zone of nearby stars. In fact, TOI-715b is just one of many super-Earths discovered, and there's a growing list of planets that might be hiding life right under our noses. What's truly exciting is that every new discovery adds a piece to the puzzle of how life could arise on different worlds. So, while we haven't found definitive proof of life on TOI-715b yet, the door is wide open. Who knows? Our future missions could uncover something that changes everything. We could be looking at the birth of the next great space-age frontier, where we begin to answer the question, what lies beyond our Earth, and are we truly alone in this vast universe? The road ahead is filled with questions, curiosity, and the infinite potential to change the way we think about the cosmos. The discovery of TOI-715b is only the beginning of an extraordinary journey into the unknown. So what next? So, after all this, what can we take away from the discovery of TOI-715b? This super-Earth has rewritten the playbook on what we know about planets orbiting red dwarf stars. The fact that it's not just any ordinary planet but one that could potentially support life is a game changer in our search for life beyond Earth. We've long thought that red dwarfs couldn't host such massive habitable planets, yet here we are with TOI-715b proving us wrong. But this discovery is more than just a scientific curiosity. It's a reminder that the universe is full of surprises, places and phenomena we can't even begin to imagine. If a planet like TOI-715b exists in a zone we thought was too inhospitable, who knows what else is out there waiting to be discovered? Our understanding of planetary formation and habitability is evolving, and this find is at the forefront of that change. It's pushing us to think bigger and dream bolder. And this is only the beginning. With new tools and technology, we will be able to study planets like TOI-715b in greater detail, and who knows what secrets they might reveal. Could this planet hold the key to unlocking the mystery of life in the universe? Perhaps it's not just a possibility, we may one day find ourselves gazing at TOI-715b through a telescope, wondering if life has already taken root. For now, the discovery of this super-Earth has shown us that the cosmos is far more mysterious and full of wonder than we ever imagined. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember that the universe is just getting started in revealing its secrets, and we're only scratching the surface. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the cosmos. If you found this discovery as mind-blowing as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more groundbreaking insights. What do you think? Could there be life on planets like TOI-715b? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring the edges of science and technology. Every second, your brain processes more information than the most powerful supercomputers of just a decade ago. Yet, what if all this complexity, the universe, life, even your thoughts, were part of an enormous, intricate simulation? This idea isn't science fiction, it's a serious hypothesis that challenges the very fabric of reality. If the world you know is coded, then the ultimate question isn't just what is real, but who is the programmer? Reality might be stranger than you ever imagined. What is the simulation hypothesis? What if everything you know, every sight, sound, and sensation, isn't real in the way you think? The simulation hypothesis suggests that our entire universe might be a sophisticated computer simulation, created by an advanced civilization far beyond our own. This isn't just a sci-fi fantasy, it's a serious idea that challenges the very nature of reality. Think of it like a cosmic video game, where every atom, every star, and even your thoughts are part of a programmed environment. If true, it means everything we experience is generated by code running on some unimaginable supercomputer. This raises mind-bending questions. Are our choices truly ours? Is there a purpose behind this simulation? And who or what is running it? The idea flips our understanding of existence upside down, making us question what is real and what might be illusion. It's a concept that blurs the line between science, philosophy, and technology, inviting us to explore the possibility that our reality is not as solid as it seems. The simulation hypothesis forces us to reconsider the foundations of everything we take for granted, from physics to consciousness, and opens the door to some of the most profound mysteries humanity has ever faced. Origins and philosophical background. The roots of the simulation hypothesis stretch back centuries, long before computers existed. Philosophers like René Descartes pondered whether the world we perceive could be a deception, famously wondering if an evil demon might be tricking us into believing in a false reality. Fast forward to today, and philosopher Nick Bostrom gave this idea a modern twist. He proposed that if future civilizations develop immense computing power, they might run detailed simulations of their ancestors. Statistically, if many such simulations exist, it's more likely that we are inside one of them, rather than living in the original base reality. This argument is based on probability, and the assumption that advanced civilizations would want to simulate their past. The hypothesis also ties into questions about consciousness. If simulated beings can be conscious, then the line between real and simulated life blurs. This philosophical groundwork makes the simulation hypothesis more than just a thought experiment. It becomes a plausible scenario grounded in logic and emerging technology. It challenges us to rethink what it means to exist, and whether our understanding of reality is limited by the nature of the simulation itself. Technological feasibility. The idea that our universe could be a simulation might sound like pure fantasy, but technology is racing toward making something like this possible. Every year, computers get faster and more powerful, and virtual worlds become increasingly realistic. Think about how video games have evolved, from pixelated screens to immersive, lifelike environments where players can interact with complex systems and AI-driven characters. Now, imagine scaling that up exponentially. Scientists and futurists believe that, in the not-so-distant future, advanced civilizations could harness computing power so immense that simulating entire universes complete with conscious beings might be achievable. This isn't just speculation, it's grounded in the rapid progress of quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and data processing. If we accept that technology will eventually reach this level, it raises a staggering possibility. Our reality might be one of countless simulations running simultaneously. This means the boundaries between the real and the virtual could become indistinguishable. The technological feasibility of the simulation hypothesis forces us to confront what reality truly means and whether our universe is a unique creation or just one simulation among many. Evidence and arguments. Some of the most intriguing clues supporting the simulation hypothesis come from the strange behavior of the universe at its smallest scales. Quantum mechanics reveals a world that behaves more like information processing than physical matter. Particles exist in probabilities until observed, and the universe appears to follow mathematical rules that resemble computer code. Scientists have noticed that physical constants and laws often align with what you might expect from a programmed system. Some argue that phenomena like the pixelation of spacetime or the speed limit of light could be signs of a simulation's resolution and processing limits. Additionally, the uncanny effectiveness of mathematics in describing the universe hints that reality might be fundamentally digital. While none of these points prove the hypothesis, they provide compelling reasons to consider it seriously. The idea that our universe operates like a vast computational system challenges traditional physics and invites new ways of thinking about existence. It's a fascinating blend of science and philosophy, where the search for evidence pushes the boundaries of what we understand about reality itself. Counter-arguments and skepticism. The simulation hypothesis sounds thrilling, but it's far from universally accepted. Many scientists and philosophers are skeptical because the idea is incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to prove or disprove. If we live in a simulation, how could we ever gather evidence from inside it without the simulation itself interfering? This makes the hypothesis more philosophical speculation than testable science. Critics also question the assumptions behind the argument, like the idea that future civilizations would want or be able to run such simulations. Some worry it's a form of intellectual escapism, distracting us from real-world problems by focusing on abstract possibilities. Others point out that even if simulations exist, it doesn't necessarily mean we are in one. The hypothesis raises more questions than answers. Who created the simulators? What's their purpose? And if we are simulated, does that mean our experiences are less meaningful? These uncertainties make many experts cautious, emphasizing that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. The debate around the simulation hypothesis is a reminder that some ideas, no matter how captivating, need rigorous scrutiny before we accept them as truth. Implications if true. If the simulation hypothesis turns out to be true, it would revolutionize everything we think about life, reality, and our place in the universe. Suddenly, concepts like free will, consciousness, and existence take on new meanings. Are our choices truly our own, or are they scripted by the programmers? Would discovering the simulation's rules allow us to manipulate reality itself? It might also change how we approach morality and purpose. If life is a simulation, what responsibilities do the creators have toward their simulated beings? On a personal level, it could be both comforting and unsettling to know we exist within a designed system. The revelation could inspire new technologies or philosophies aimed at understanding or even communicating with the simulators. It might also encourage us to appreciate the complexity and beauty of our programmed universe in a new light. Ultimately, accepting the simulation hypothesis would push humanity into uncharted territory, challenging our deepest beliefs and sparking a profound quest for meaning beyond the code. Why it captures our imagination. The simulation hypothesis captivates us because it taps into the deepest questions about who we are and what reality truly means. It really challenges everything we think we know and invites us to reconsider the nature of existence itself. Humans have always been fascinated by mysteries, whether it's the origins of the universe, the nature of consciousness, or the possibility of other worlds. The idea that our reality might be a simulation combines science, philosophy, and storytelling in a way that sparks both curiosity and wonder. It's honestly kind of thrilling to think that beneath the surface of everyday life, there could be a hidden code, a cosmic design just waiting to be uncovered. This whole concept also resonates with our digital age, where virtual worlds and artificial intelligence are, well, becoming part of daily life. It blurs the line between technology and spirituality, science and philosophy. Ultimately, the simulation hypothesis invites us to explore the unknown and embrace uncertainty. It encourages us to question, to imagine, and to seek deeper understanding. And whether or not it's true, the idea pushes us to expand our minds and explore new possibilities, making it a powerful and enduring topic that continues to inspire thinkers, scientists, and dreamers alike. The fine-tuning argument. So what if the universe wasn't just random but, incredibly precise, almost as if it were designed? This is really the core of the fine-tuning argument, which suggests that the fundamental physical constants of our universe, like the strength of gravity, the mass of an electron, or the precise energy levels that allow atoms to form, are so perfectly calibrated for the existence of life that it actually seems statistically improbable to have just arisen by chance alone. Even a tiny deviation in these values would lead to a universe where stars couldn't form, atoms wouldn't exist, or life as we know it would be impossible. Some proponents of the simulation hypothesis point to this cosmic precision as pretty compelling evidence. They argue that such perfect conditions are exactly what you might expect if a highly intelligent entity or advanced civilization deliberately designed and programmed our reality. If the universe were a simulation, these constants could simply be parameters set by the simulators to allow for complexity, evolution, and ultimately, conscious beings like us to emerge within their digital construct. It's a bit like setting the game difficulty or rules in a virtual world to achieve a specific outcome. This perspective really shifts the question from how did this happen to who set the dials, challenging us to consider whether the apparent benevolence of the universe's physics is actually a sign of underlying programming rather than pure cosmic accident. It forces us to confront the possibility that the universe's astonishing habitability is not a fluke but a feature, pointing towards an intelligent design from outside our perceived reality. The glitches in the matrix idea. Have you ever experienced a strange coincidence, a moment of déjà vu, or just a fleeting sense that something in reality isn't quite right? For some people, these uncanny experiences are more than just psychological quirks. They're interpreted as potential glitches in the matrix, subtle imperfections or anomalies within the simulated reality we might inhabit. Proponents of this idea suggest that, just like any complex computer program, a universal simulation might occasionally encounter errors, exhibit repeating patterns, or show inconsistencies that betray its underlying artificial nature. Think of it as a momentary hiccup in the code or a rendering error. These glitches could manifest as inexplicable events, statistical anomalies that defy probability, or even a fleeting sense of unreality. Now, while most scientists attribute such experiences to cognitive biases, memory errors, or simply the vast randomness of the universe, the simulation hypothesis offers a different, more intriguing explanation. It proposes that if our reality is indeed a digital construct, then the occasional unexplainable occurrence might be the closest we get to seeing the gears of the simulation machine. It's a compelling notion that turns everyday oddities into potential clues about our true existence, inviting us to look closer at the fabric of reality for signs of its digital origins. This perspective encourages us to view the world with a detective's eye, searching for the subtle tells that might reveal the simulated nature of our world. The ethical implications for simulators. If the simulation hypothesis is true, and an advanced civilization is indeed running our universe, what are their ethical responsibilities towards us, their simulated creations? This question plunges us into a fascinating moral and philosophical dilemma. If we are conscious beings capable of joy, suffering, and complex thought, do our creators have an obligation to ensure our well-being, or even our awareness of our simulated status? Conversely, if we someday gain the power to create highly realistic simulations with conscious entities, what moral duties would we incur? Consider the implications. If our universe is a simulation, should the simulators intervene in our crises, prevent disasters, or reveal their presence? And if they don't, does that make them negligent, or are they simply observing for research purposes? This line of questioning forces us to confront our own ethical frameworks and apply them to an unimaginable scale. It suggests that with immense power comes immense responsibility, whether you are a creator of a universe or a digital being within one. The ethical considerations extend beyond mere observation. They touch upon concepts of free will, suffering, and the very meaning of existence. This thought experiment really challenges us to define what it means to be a responsible creator, and what rights, if any, simulated beings might possess, pushing the boundaries of our moral imagination far beyond our current understanding of reality. Thanks for exploring the mind-bending world of the simulation hypothesis with us here at InnoVision Tech. If you enjoyed diving into the future of reality and technology, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest videos. We love hearing your thoughts, so drop a comment below. What do you think? Are we living in a simulation or not? Join the conversation and be part of our tech community. Stay curious, stay innovative, and let's explore the future of technology together. Mercury races around the sun faster than any other planet, completing a full orbit in just 88 days. But did you know that despite this speed, a single day on Mercury, the time it takes for the sun to return to the same spot in the sky, lasts twice as long as its year? That's right, one day on Mercury equals 176 Earth days. How many people do you think are aware of this mind-bending fact about our solar system's fastest planet? What is greatest elongation east? Mercury is often called the elusive planet because it's so tricky to spot in the sky, hidden close to the blinding glare of the sun. But there's a special moment when Mercury steps out from the sun's shadow and becomes visible in the evening sky. This moment is called greatest elongation east. At this point, Mercury reaches its maximum angular distance east of the sun, meaning it appears farthest away from the sun's glare as seen from Earth. This event is a golden opportunity for skywatchers because it's when Mercury shines brightest and is easiest to spot just after sunset. Since Mercury orbits the sun quickly, completing a full orbit in only 88 days, it reaches this greatest elongation roughly every 116 days, giving us several chances each year to catch a glimpse. The angle between Mercury and the sun during this event varies between about 18 and 28 degrees, depending on Mercury's elliptical orbit, which means some elongations offer better viewing than others. To see Mercury at greatest elongation east, you'll want to look toward the western horizon shortly after the sun sets, ideally with clear skies and minimal light pollution. Using binoculars or a small telescope can help you spot this speedy planet as it twinkles low in the sky. This event isn't just a treat for casual observers. Ancient astronomers carefully tracked Mercury's elongations to understand its orbit and improve early models of the solar system. So next time Mercury reaches greatest elongation east, don't miss your chance to see one of the solar system's fastest and most fascinating planets lighting up the twilight sky. Why is Mercury's elongation important? Mercury's elongation is more than just a cool astronomical term. It's the key to unlocking our view of the solar system's swiftest planet. Because Mercury orbits so close to the sun, it usually hides in the sun's intense glare, making it one of the hardest planets to spot with the naked eye. But at greatest elongation east, Mercury reaches its farthest point from the sun in the evening sky, giving us a rare and precious window to see it clearly. This elongation is crucial because it marks the moment when Mercury's position relative to Earth and the sun allows sunlight to reflect off its surface at an angle that makes it visible just after sunset. Without this event, Mercury would remain lost in daylight, invisible to even the most dedicated stargazers. Observing Mercury at elongation helps astronomers track its orbit, study its phases, and understand its relationship with Earth and the sun. It's also a reminder of the dynamic dance happening in our solar system, where planets race around the sun at different speeds and distances. For casual observers, elongation is the perfect chance to spot Mercury's bright, quick-moving dot against the twilight sky, a fleeting glimpse of a planet that's always on the move. So, Mercury's elongation isn't just an astronomical curiosity, it's the planet's spotlight moment, a brief but brilliant chance to connect with one of our closest planetary neighbors. How often does Mercury reach greatest elongation east? Mercury's rapid orbit around the sun means it doesn't take long for this planet to reach its greatest elongation east multiple times each year. In fact, Mercury completes a full orbit in just 88 Earth days, making it the fastest planet in our solar system. Because of this swift journey, Mercury reaches greatest elongation east approximately every 116 days, or about 3 times annually. This frequency gives skywatchers several opportunities each year to catch a glimpse of Mercury shining brightly in the evening sky. However, each elongation event is unique. Mercury's elliptical orbit causes the angle of elongation to vary, so some appearances are more favorable than others. The timing of these elongations also shifts slightly with each cycle, meaning the best viewing windows can fall in different months and seasons. This regular rhythm of elongations is a cosmic dance between Mercury's orbit and Earth's own movement around the Sun, creating a predictable pattern that astronomers have studied for centuries. For those eager to plan their skywatching sessions, knowing when Mercury will reach greatest elongation east is essential to maximize the chance of spotting this elusive planet. So mark your calendar roughly every 4 months, and prepare to look westward just after sunset. Mercury's dazzling show is ready to begin again. This frequent occurrence reminds us how dynamic and ever-changing our night sky truly is, with planets like Mercury constantly moving and revealing new wonders to those who watch closely. Typical angular distance during greatest elongation east. The angular distance between Mercury and the Sun during greatest elongation east is a fascinating aspect that determines how well we can see this speedy planet. Because Mercury's orbit is not a perfect circle but an ellipse, the maximum angle it reaches from the Sun varies each time it hits greatest elongation east. Typically, this angular separation ranges from about 18 to 28 degrees, which might not sound like much, but in the vastness of the sky, it makes all the difference. When Mercury is at the larger end of this range, around 28 degrees, it appears farther away from the Sun's glare, making it easier to spot against the twilight backdrop. Conversely, when the elongation is closer to 18 degrees, Mercury stays nearer to the Sun's bright horizon, making it more challenging to see with the naked eye. This variation is caused by Mercury's elliptical orbit, combined with the relative positions of Earth and the Sun during the event. The changing angle affects not only visibility, but also the length of time Mercury remains observable after sunset. At wider elongations, Mercury can stay visible longer in the evening sky, giving skywatchers a better chance to enjoy its fleeting brilliance. Understanding this angular distance helps astronomers predict the best times to observe Mercury, and allows enthusiasts to plan their skywatching sessions accordingly. So the next time Mercury reaches greatest elongation east, remember that the exact angle it forms with the Sun plays a starring role in how spectacular the view will be. Visibility conditions for Mercury at greatest elongation east. Seeing Mercury at greatest elongation east requires the right conditions, and knowing when and where to look can make all the difference between spotting this elusive planet or missing it entirely. Because Mercury stays close to the Sun from our viewpoint, it appears low on the western horizon just after sunset during greatest elongation east. This means you need a clear, unobstructed view of the horizon. No tall buildings, trees, or mountains blocking your line of sight. Light pollution can also play a big role. The darker the sky, the easier it is to pick out Mercury's faint twinkle among the stars. The best time to observe Mercury is typically within 30 to 60 minutes after sunset, when the sky is dark enough but Mercury hasn't dipped below the horizon yet. Weather conditions matter too. Cloudless skies are essential because even thin clouds can obscure this small planet. Using binoculars or a telescope can help, especially if Mercury's elongation angle is on the smaller side, making it harder to distinguish with the naked eye. Keep in mind that Mercury's brightness varies, so sometimes it shines like a bright star, while other times it's more subtle. Patience is key. Mercury moves quickly across the sky, so catching it during this short window requires timing and a bit of luck. With the right conditions and a little preparation, you can enjoy the rare opportunity to see Mercury glowing in the twilight, a fleeting but rewarding sight for any astronomy enthusiast. Difference between greatest elongation east and west. Mercury's greatest elongation comes in 2 flavors, east and west, and understanding the difference between them is key to knowing when and where to look for this speedy planet. Greatest elongation east means Mercury is at its farthest point east of the Sun, making it visible in the evening sky just after sunset. This is your chance to catch Mercury glowing low on the western horizon as daylight fades. On the other hand, greatest elongation west happens when Mercury reaches its maximum angular distance west of the Sun, placing it in the morning sky before sunrise. During this event, Mercury rises early and can be seen shining near the eastern horizon just before the Sun peaks over the horizon. Both elongations offer rare windows to observe Mercury, but the timing and sky position differ significantly. The planet's rapid orbit and proximity to the Sun mean it never strays far from the solar glare, so these elongations are the only times Mercury becomes visible to us. Whether it's east or west elongation, the key is to know when to look. After sunset for east, before sunrise for west. This difference also affects how long Mercury remains visible. Sometimes it lingers longer in the evening sky, other times it's a fleeting morning visitor. Knowing these distinctions helps amateur astronomers plan their observations and never miss Mercury's brief but brilliant appearances in our sky. So whether you're an early bird or a night owl, Mercury's elongations offer exciting chances to connect with this elusive planet. Why does Mercury's elongation angle vary? Mercury's elongation angle isn't fixed. It changes every time the planet reaches greatest elongation east. And, well, this variation is all thanks to the shape of Mercury's orbit. Unlike Earth's nearly circular orbit, Mercury travels around the Sun in an elliptical path, meaning its distance from the Sun varies significantly over the course of its orbit. When Mercury is closer to the Sun, the maximum angle it can appear from the Sun in our sky is smaller, resulting in a narrower elongation. Conversely, when Mercury is farther from the Sun along its elliptical orbit, the elongation angle widens, allowing Mercury to appear farther away from the Sun's glare. This shifting angle is also influenced by the relative positions of Earth and Mercury as they both orbit the Sun, creating a dynamic interplay that changes the viewing geometry each time. Because of this, some elongations offer better viewing opportunities with Mercury appearing higher above the horizon and for longer periods, while others are less favorable, with Mercury hugging closer to the Sun and setting quickly after sunset. This variation makes each elongation event unique and honestly, adds an exciting challenge for skywatchers trying to catch Mercury's fleeting appearances. Understanding why Mercury's elongation angle varies helps astronomers predict the best times to observe the planet and deepens our appreciation for the complex celestial mechanics at play in our solar system. So the next time you spot Mercury at greatest elongation east, remember you're witnessing a moment shaped by the intricate dance of planetary orbits. How to observe Mercury during greatest elongation east. Observing Mercury during greatest elongation east is a rewarding challenge that requires timing, patience, and, well, a bit of preparation. Since Mercury appears low on the western horizon just after sunset, your first step is to find a location with a clear, unobstructed view of the horizon. Think open fields, beaches, or hilltops away from city lights. The best time to look is within 30 to 60 minutes after sunset, when the sky is dark enough to see Mercury, but the planet hasn't yet dipped below the horizon. Because Mercury is relatively small and close to the Sun, it can be tricky to spot with the naked eye, especially if the elongation angle is on the lower side. Using binoculars or a small telescope can greatly improve your chances, helping you distinguish Mercury's bright, steady light from nearby stars. It's also helpful to know Mercury's exact position in the sky for that evening, which you can find using astronomy apps or star charts. Keep in mind that Mercury moves quickly across the sky, so you'll want to be ready and focused during this short viewing window. Dress comfortably, bring a chair or blanket, and give your eyes time to adjust to the fading light. Watching Mercury at greatest elongation east isn't just about seeing a planet, it's about connecting with the rhythms of our solar system and witnessing a cosmic event that ancient astronomers marveled at for centuries. So grab your gear, head outside, and enjoy the thrill of spotting Mercury's fleeting glow in the twilight. Historical significance of observing Mercury's elongations. Observing Mercury's elongations has fascinated astronomers for thousands of years and played a crucial role in our understanding of the solar system. Ancient civilizations, from the Babylonians to the Greeks, carefully tracked Mercury's movements across the sky, noting its unusual behavior near the Sun. Because Mercury never strays far from the Sun's glare, its appearances during elongations were some of the few opportunities early astronomers had to study this mysterious planet. These observations helped shape early models of planetary motion, challenging the geocentric view that placed Earth at the center of the universe. In fact, Mercury's swift and irregular path was one of the puzzles that eventually led to the development of the heliocentric model, where planets orbit the Sun. Over centuries, astronomers refined their calculations of Mercury's orbit by studying its elongations, which also contributed to breakthroughs in understanding gravity and orbital mechanics. Even today, Mercury's elongations remain important for both amateur and professional astronomers, offering a chance to observe the planet's phases and gather data about its surface and atmosphere. This historical legacy adds a layer of wonder to every elongation event, connecting modern skywatchers with generations of stargazers who marveled at Mercury's fleeting appearances. So when you look up and spot Mercury shining near the horizon at greatest elongation east, you're not just seeing a planet. You're witnessing a moment steeped in centuries of astronomical discovery and human curiosity. Fun fact of Mercury. Mercury is a planet full of surprises that make it stand out in our solar system. For starters, it's the fastest planet, zipping around the Sun in just 88 Earth days, faster than any other world we know. Despite being so close to the Sun, Mercury has a fascinating quirk. Its day-night cycle is incredibly long, with one full solar day lasting 176 Earth days. This means the Sun rises, sets, and rises again in some places, creating a strange double sunrise phenomenon. Another cool fact is that Mercury has a huge iron core that makes up about 75% of its diameter, far larger proportionally than any other planet. This massive core is responsible for Mercury's weak but detectable magnetic field, which is surprising given how small the planet is. Even more intriguing is that despite Mercury's scorching proximity to the Sun, NASA's MESSENGER mission discovered pockets of water ice hidden in permanently shadowed craters near its poles, places so cold that ice can survive despite the extreme heat elsewhere. Unlike Earth, Mercury has almost no atmosphere, so its sky is always black, even during the day. Its surface is heavily cratered and marked by giant cliffs and valleys, telling a story of violent impacts and geological activity. Named after the swift Roman messenger god, Mercury truly lives up to its name with its speed and mysterious features, making it one of the most fascinating planets to explore and observe in our cosmic neighborhood. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Mercury, at greatest elongation east here on InnoVision Tech. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of our solar system's fastest planet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest tech and space insights. We love hearing from you, so drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. What fascinates you most about Mercury? Join our community, and let's keep exploring the future of technology and the cosmos together. See you in the next video. So, Bill Nye just received data from Voyager 1 that's making him lose sleep at night. Did you know that interstellar space was supposed to be empty and peaceful? For 45 years we believed the void between stars was just that, a void. But Voyager 1 has shattered this assumption by discovering violent plasma storms raging through what we thought was cosmic nothingness. These invisible tsunamis of superheated gas are powerful enough to destroy spacecraft and rewrite everything we know about deep space, the terrifying truth we've been planning humanity's cosmic future based on a lie. The epic journey of Voyager 1. What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, there's a tiny spacecraft the size of a small car racing through the darkest corners of space at 38,000 miles per hour, carrying humanity's most ambitious message to the stars. This is the incredible story of Voyager 1, a machine that has redefined what's possible in human exploration. Launched in 1977 when disco was king and the internet was just a dream, this remarkable probe has been on the ultimate road trip for over 45 years, traveling more than 14 billion miles from Earth. To put that distance in perspective, light from the Sun takes over 22 hours to reach Voyager 1, meaning if something happened to it right now, we wouldn't know for almost a full day. Originally designed for a simple 4-year mission to snap some photos of Jupiter and Saturn, Voyager 1 had other plans. Like that friend who says they're just stopping by for a quick visit and ends up staying for decades, this little spacecraft just kept going, and going, and going. It's now the farthest human-made object from our planet, sailing through a region of space that no human technology has ever explored before, interstellar space itself. Every second, it's pushing deeper into the cosmic unknown, sending back data that's completely changing how we understand the universe around us. The terrifying discovery that shocked scientists. Scientists are calling it the most disturbing space discovery in human history, and it's happening right now, 14 billion miles away from Earth. When Bill Nye uses the word terrifying to describe a scientific discovery, you know we're dealing with something that has fundamentally shaken the space science community to its core. As Voyager 1 crossed into the mysterious realm of interstellar space, that vast, supposedly empty region between star systems, it began detecting something that no scientist had ever predicted or prepared for. We're talking about massive plasma waves rippling through the cosmic void like invisible tsunamis of superheated, electrically charged gas. These aren't gentle whispers from space. They're powerful, chaotic energy signatures that seem to be erupting from unknown sources in the darkness beyond our solar system. Even more unsettling are the bizarre magnetic field fluctuations that Voyager 1 is recording. Twisted, violent distortions that create a kind of cosmic storm system that never ends. The implications are staggering because for decades, scientists believed interstellar space was essentially a calm, predictable void with maybe some scattered particles floating around. Instead, Voyager 1 has revealed that the space between stars is more like a raging ocean of energy that could pose serious threats to any future spacecraft, or humans, brave enough to venture into the interstellar medium. This discovery isn't just rewriting textbooks, it's forcing us to completely reconsider what lies beyond our cosmic neighborhood. What Voyager 1 actually found out there. For 45 years we've been completely wrong about what exists in the space between stars, and the truth is far more dangerous than anyone dared to imagine. The cosmic revelation that Voyager 1 has delivered is nothing short of mind-blowing, completely shattering decades of scientific assumptions about interstellar space. While textbooks taught us that the region between star systems was essentially a cold, empty vacuum with maybe some scattered hydrogen atoms drifting around, Voyager 1 has exposed this as a dangerous misconception. Instead of finding peaceful emptiness, our brave little explorer has discovered that interstellar space is absolutely buzzing with violent activity. We're talking about massive plasma waves that surge through the darkness like invisible tsunamis of superheated, electrically charged particles. These plasma waves aren't just gentle ripples, they're powerful enough to interfere with spacecraft electronics and potentially destroy sensitive equipment. Even more disturbing, the magnetic fields in this region are completely chaotic and unpredictable, twisting and writhing in ways that create a kind of electromagnetic storm system that never stops raging. The data streaming back from Voyager 1 reveals that what we thought was a calm cosmic highway is actually more like navigating through a perpetual hurricane of energy and charged particles. This discovery has forced scientists to completely reimagine interstellar space as a hostile, dynamic environment filled with invisible dangers that could pose serious threats to any future deep space missions or interstellar travelers foolish enough to venture into this cosmic tempest. Why this discovery changes everything we know. Every space mission, every interstellar travel plan, every assumption about humanity's cosmic future just became obsolete, and it's all because of what one tiny probe discovered in the darkness. This isn't just another fascinating space fact that you'll forget by tomorrow. Voyager 1's discovery is literally forcing scientists to tear up decades of research and start over from scratch. For years, space agencies around the world have been designing future missions based on the fundamental assumption that interstellar space was a relatively calm, predictable environment, where spacecraft could cruise safely between star systems. Engineers calculated fuel requirements, mission timelines, and safety protocols all based on the idea that once you left our solar system, you'd encounter mostly empty space with maybe some gentle cosmic winds. Now we're learning that assumption was catastrophically wrong. The space between stars is more like a cosmic hurricane that never ends, filled with violent plasma storms and chaotic magnetic fields that could tear apart any unprepared spacecraft. This means every calculation about future deep space missions needs to be completely recalculated. Every plan for interstellar travel must be reconsidered, and every assumption about what lies beyond our solar neighborhood has to be thrown out the window. We're essentially discovering that we've been planning to sail across what we thought was a peaceful lake, only to find out it's actually a raging ocean filled with invisible storms that could destroy anything foolish enough to venture into them without proper preparation. Bill Nye's eye-opening explanation. When the science guy himself calls a discovery terrifying, you know we're dealing with something that could fundamentally change humanity's place in the universe. Bill Nye's reaction to Voyager 1's discovery reveals just how profoundly this finding has shaken the scientific community, and when you hear his explanation, you'll understand why even seasoned space experts are genuinely concerned. According to Nye, these plasma waves and magnetic anomalies aren't just fascinating cosmic phenomena to study from a safe distance. They represent genuine, unknown dangers that could catastrophically impact any future spacecraft attempting to venture into deep space. The science guy emphasizes that this isn't the realm of science fiction movies or theoretical physics. This is real, hard data streaming back from actual instruments, showing us that interstellar space is far more hostile and unpredictable than our most pessimistic models ever suggested. What makes Nye's assessment particularly alarming is his point about scale. If a relatively small, robust probe like Voyager 1 is detecting these massive energy signatures and chaotic magnetic disturbances, the implications for larger spacecraft carrying human crews are genuinely frightening. He explains that these discoveries force us to confront an uncomfortable truth. We've been making plans for interstellar exploration based on assumptions that were completely wrong, and now we're learning that the space between stars might be one of the most dangerous environments in the entire universe. Nye's concern isn't just scientific curiosity, it's a wake-up call about the real challenges facing humanity's cosmic ambitions. The mind-blowing science behind the discovery. The universe just revealed one of its most terrifying secrets, and the science behind it is so mind-bending that it's forcing us to rewrite everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. What Voyager 1 has uncovered in the depths of interstellar space is a cosmic phenomenon so extraordinary that it reads like something from a science fiction nightmare, except this is absolutely real and happening right now. We're dealing with plasma, often called the fourth state of matter, which forms when ordinary gas becomes so incredibly hot that electrons get violently ripped away from their atoms, creating a supercharged soup of particles that can carry devastating amounts of energy across vast distances. In the supposedly empty void between stars, this plasma is creating waves that travel at mind-numbing speeds, interacting with twisted magnetic fields in ways that generate a kind of cosmic symphony from hell. Except this symphony never stops playing and could potentially destroy anything that gets too close. The magnetic fields themselves are being warped and compressed by mysterious forces that scientists don't fully understand, creating a chaotic electromagnetic environment that's completely unlike the relatively stable magnetic conditions we're used to in our solar system. What makes this discovery even more unsettling is that these plasma waves can interfere with electronic systems, disrupt communications, and potentially damage spacecraft hulls through processes that we're only beginning to comprehend. We're essentially learning that interstellar space operates like a massive invisible storm system that's been raging for billions of years, completely hidden from our view until now. The incredible instruments making these discoveries. So, the most groundbreaking space discovery in human history is actually being made by technology that's, older than the internet, weaker than your smartphone, and somehow still working perfectly after 45 years out there in the cosmic deep. What makes Voyager 1's terrifying discovery even more remarkable is that it's being detected by instruments built using 1970s technology. We're talking about equipment that has less computing power than a basic calculator, yet it's revolutionizing our understanding of the universe in ways that, honestly, modern supercomputers couldn't have predicted. The key instrument responsible for these mind-blowing discoveries is called the plasma wave subsystem, which basically acts like a cosmic radio that can hear the electrical symphony of death playing out in the void between stars. This incredible device has been faithfully transmitting data back to Earth for over 4 decades, surviving conditions that would instantly destroy any human. We're talking about temperatures of -270 degrees Fahrenheit, constant bombardment by cosmic radiation that would be lethal in seconds, and the complete isolation of deep space where the nearest help is literally billions of miles away. The fact that this ancient technology is still functioning flawlessly while making discoveries that are forcing scientists to completely rewrite textbooks is, well, nothing short of miraculous. Every single day, this 45-year-old instrument keeps probing the hostile environment of interstellar space, sending back data that reveals just how dangerous and unpredictable the cosmic void really is. proving that sometimes the most extraordinary discoveries come from the most unexpected sources. The extreme challenges of deep space exploration. Right now, 14 billion miles from Earth, a spacecraft smaller than your car is facing challenges so extreme that they make climbing Mount Everest look like a casual stroll through the park. Voyager 1's groundbreaking discovery becomes even more incredible when you realize the absolutely brutal conditions this tiny explorer has endured to bring us this terrifying revelation about interstellar space. We're talking about a spacecraft that's so impossibly far from home that when Mission Control sends a command, it takes over 22 hours for the signal to reach Voyager 1, meaning if something catastrophic happened right now, we wouldn't even know about it until tomorrow. This brave little probe is operating in a hellish environment where temperatures plummet to minus 270 degrees Fahrenheit, just 3 degrees above absolute zero, while being constantly pummeled by cosmic radiation so intense it would kill a human being in mere minutes. The spacecraft is running on a slowly dying nuclear power source that's been faithfully providing energy for nearly half a century, yet somehow it's still transmitting crystal clear data about the plasma storms and magnetic chaos surrounding it in the cosmic void. What makes this achievement even more mind-blowing is that Voyager 1 is essentially flying blind through an environment that no human has ever mapped or understood, navigating through invisible energy storms that could potentially destroy its delicate instruments at any moment. The fact that this ancient piece of human engineering is not only surviving but thriving in the most hostile environment imaginable, while making discoveries that are revolutionizing space science is nothing short of miraculous. What this means for the future of humanity. The discovery that's keeping space scientists awake at night isn't just about understanding the universe, it's about whether humanity has any future beyond Earth at all. Voyager 1's terrifying revelation about the hostile nature of interstellar space has profound implications that extend far beyond scientific curiosity. We're talking about the very survival of our species, and our dreams of becoming a multi-planetary civilization. If humanity ever hopes to send crews to other star systems, we now know they'll be facing an invisible gauntlet of plasma storms and chaotic magnetic fields that could interfere with life support systems, fry critical electronics, or even breach spacecraft hulls through processes we're only beginning to understand. The discovery forces us to confront an uncomfortable reality. Our species has been making grand plans for interstellar colonization based on the assumption that space between stars was mostly empty and safe, but we're now learning it's more like a cosmic minefield that's been waiting to destroy anything foolish enough to venture into it unprepared. On a deeper philosophical level, this discovery serves as a humbling reminder of how little we actually know about our cosmic neighborhood, and how dangerous our universe really is. We've been living in our solar system like sheltered children who've never left their safe hometown, only to discover that the wider world is filled with hurricanes, earthquakes, and tsunamis we never knew existed. The question now isn't just whether we can reach other stars, but whether we can survive the journey through the hostile wilderness that separates us from them. The future of space exploration after this discovery. The most terrifying space discovery in history has just triggered the biggest revolution in spacecraft design since humans first dreamed of reaching the stars. Voyager 1's shocking revelation about the violent nature of interstellar space has already set off a chain reaction that's completely transforming how we approach deep space exploration, with engineers and scientists scrambling to redesign everything from spacecraft hulls to mission timelines. Space agencies around the world are now frantically developing new technologies that can withstand the brutal plasma storms and chaotic magnetic fields that Voyager 1 has revealed lurking in the cosmic void. We're talking about revolutionary shielding systems, advanced electronics that can survive electromagnetic chaos, and completely new propulsion methods that could get spacecraft through the dangerous interstellar medium faster than ever before. NASA and other organizations are already planning specialized follow-up missions designed specifically to study these mysterious plasma waves and magnetic anomalies in greater detail, hoping to understand exactly what future explorers will face when they venture beyond our solar system's protective bubble. The discovery has also sparked renewed interest in developing faster-than-light travel concepts and exotic propulsion systems that could potentially bypass the worst of these interstellar dangers entirely. What's most exciting is that this terrifying discovery has essentially created an entirely new field of space science, interstellar plasma dynamics. and we're just scratching the surface of understanding what's really out there in the cosmic deep. The future of space exploration will never be the same, and that's both thrilling and absolutely terrifying. And there you have it, Voyager 1's terrifying discovery that's completely changing how we understand the universe beyond our solar system. The space between stars isn't the peaceful void we thought it was, but a raging storm of plasma waves and chaotic magnetic fields that could reshape the future of human space exploration forever. If this mind-blowing revelation about our cosmic neighborhood fascinated you as much as it did me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss another incredible discovery from InnoVision Tech. Drop a comment below and let me know, which part of Voyager 1's journey shocked you the most? Until next time, keep exploring the impossible.